and welcome to the Raw Review. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by from WhatCulture. It's a review last night's episode of Raw. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AW Dynamite, AW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to review last night's Raw and the Go Joe for Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Weird to do one of these in the afternoon, isn't it?
Yes. We've done it in the afternoon, behind the curtain. If you have noticed on the WhatCulture Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel, you might find the AW Dynamite preview, not because we got the bloody day of the week wrong, but it's because AW, of course, will be going head-to-head with NXT tonight. The preview for that is on the audio feed, NXT that is. But gauntlet thrown down by Monday Night Raw.
Wow.
For the other shows to try and follow, quite frankly. I've praised Raw a little bit of late, but even I'll admit a lot of it has been in comparison to SmackDown. You know, in that one.
Then SmackDown upped its game last week.
And this is it, right? So maybe, just maybe, creatively, they felt, I don't know like who does both shows or what, but there was just a sense that we need to push things a little bit more with SmackDown, and then Raw thought, yeah, but Raw's still best, right? So like, I don't know if these egos exist or any of this is real.
You have Road Dogg for the week.
Yeah, I know, like it's a custody battle where nobody wants him. It's that. But like, yeah, Raw has consistently been the better of the two shows for the longest time. But I've been sort of nervous with my praise of it lately because I feel a bit down on WWE in 2025. I think a lot of people do. We talked about this at the time. WrestlePalooza was real line in the sand, wasn't it? In this
I agree.
Increasingly tribal world where every conversation is a culture war. Pretty much everybody was like, "Oh crap, wasn't it?"
Yeah,
like it was one of the few things in wrestling this year that everybody kind of rallied round together on. WrestlePalooza bad, and I look at those sort of moments in the history of WWE, especially booms, busts, those moments where corners get turned and the like. And WrestlePalooza felt like, yeah, this was coming. They kind of like this was the show that categorically defined this 2025 decline.
It's weird. Sorry, before you continue that point, it's weird because from a distance, if you said to someone, "This will be this company's," it doesn't matter if you're a wrestling fan or not, this will be this company's big flagship debut ESPN show. There's talk about them basically saying, we'll make this sort of like WrestleMania in case WrestleMania just stays in Saudi Arabia for the foreseeable future. Yep. Compared to champion versus champion in Australia, it doesn't really matter. Like, which of those two shows do you think they're really going to really knuckle down and do some really good creative stuff for? Oh, it's the Australian show. I mean, great, totally weird.
It's weird to me still that we're talking so positively and excitedly about a show called Crown Jewel. Genuinely.
Yes.
Like the whole thing feels quite strange. But yeah, the shorter build time, the shorter run-in for several of the matches. And weirdly, Crown Jewel feeling like a bit of a free hit compared to Survivor Series in terms of how much you need to stack the card or how high the stakes need to be. You know, we're looking towards a Survivor Series that'll likely have, it's going to have 2 War Games. I don't think it's that wild fantasy booking to assume 2 pretty massive singles matches for titles, you know, that we've talked about. So Crown Jewel has none of that, and yet,
what a card.
To echo your point, a great card, and a Raw that I think did just as much to build to this Crown Jewel as give you all the ammo, which we hoped for, but give you all the ammo for stuff in the aftermath. There was a lot here that I was very excited about in the like sort of the post Crown Jewel discussion that didn't neglect the Saturday's show at all.
That Roman Reigns, eh? What a guy. You text me saying, what was it? Roman Reigns, the treeing all over the place.
He's treeing out again. Tree's treeing out. I missed the tree.
If people are unaware about tree, do you want to explain that?
Roman Reigns was the tree. When everybody knows in wrestling, when you have boom periods, you need trees. We couldn't have made this clearer. For which the tree, which grows branches, and those branches grow fruit. And it was just Branch City Jones. Like that tree just sprouted so many branches, which sprouted so many fruit. If you think about like the day that he comes back in 2020, where the seeds of the tree are planted, because frankly, we need a new whole goddamn garden.
Jesus.
It's a mess out there, right? So like, we need it. Well, at least start with a new tree. If we want this orchard to flourish, we need a tree. So the tree grows. and it's in the pandemic, so the grass is greener where they watered it, which for WWE was around Roman Reigns and the bloodline. And then, sure enough, Sami Zayn joins, and you start seeing the fleshed out characters of Jimmy and Jay and Solo via Sami, because Roman's not always around. There was clearly a missing piece between Roman and his baddie mates.
Yeah.
And then so all of a sudden they've got this other character to bounce off, and that helps their personalities shine.
Is Sami sort of the swing on the tree, so it makes it fun?
If you want.
There we go.
Yeah. Tree swing. Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Sami Zayn, of course, has his own... so he's a fruit. But Sami Zayn, of course, has his own relationship... Well, he can't be a fruit, he's a branch. Has his own relationships with Kevin Owens. Branches everywhere again, right? The Usos themselves, Jimmy and Jay, have very different relationships with Roman Reigns, and Jay Usos in particular has been kind of core, if you will, Apple stuff, to Roman's success as the tribal chief and this very abusive, monstrous heel early doors. So branches are just bursting out of Jay Uso's chest like the film Alien at this point, right?
Okay.
And that'll matter in 2023 when he finally has to grow up apples. And then... Are you still with it? Good.
I think so.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes, meanwhile, returns to WWE and it's starting to look and think, I want a piece of fruit off that tree. Right? I'm going to have to become a branch myself.
I wish you'd never started.
Sorry, to infiltrate the tree, you have to become a branch.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Right?
Or is he sort of Howard from the Halifax, a branch manager?
It's just as good. It's all horticulture. So Cody's right.
It's already been too many pods for Nicholas today. He's gone.
I also wish to be a branch on this massive tree, and then falls short, unfortunately. Right? Falls off,
as branches do. Apples
fall to the ground. Come on, keep up.
Yeah.
So he has to spend the rest of the year being like, "Oh, I want to climb that tree again." And Jay, if you recall, with trees bursting out of him, is like, "Well, I can help you." And I'm friends with Sammy now, and he's a swing.
Right.
So, and now that explains why Roman is the tree.
Yes. And he's back.
Oh!
He's back and he's opening the show.
Yes. He might be, I wouldn't say he's the whole tree, but he's one of them ones where the branch is so thick you can use it to climb. I've never climbed a tree because I'm scared. But people...
Or those big ones in America that you can drive through.
Excuse me?
You know, the you've seen this, right, Nicholas? The big, huge trees that are so big you can drive through the base of them.
I've never... I
don't honestly know who I am anymore, to be honest.
Tree you can drive through. Right, here we go. Look at the size of that one.
Whoa, look at that. It's a tree you can drive through.
Drive through redwoods.
They should put a McDonald's in one of them.
Don't ruin it.
The Roman Reigns being the tree, I should point out, we've had a bit of fun there.
It'll only be a KF tree.
That is excellent. That is excellent. And I was thinking about the foods that you could build into trees. No, I want to get to my point. As you can tell, it was a serious one. Roman Reigns being the tree was ultimately what, every character you could find a way if you wanted in the show Bible. My God, this is consistent. Drew McIntyre was another one.
Yes.
So many things that had happened in that time where Roman Reigns was dominant. The characters that he'd alienated, the ones he'd befriended, and so, they all had their own stories, and it could all be linked back to Roman Reigns, this character, this kind of dominant bastard, but the one who did all these evil things, but believed that he had to in order to kind of keep this from becoming a sloppy shop again. He's
yes.
I kind of experience the sloppy shop, and I never ever want it to be that way again. So it was underpinned by something that meant something to him, and then every other character was like, well, no, Cody Rhodes wanted that spot, Drew McIntyre wanted that spot, and so on and so forth. Roman Reigns was kind of a dickhead in order to maintain that position, and then when he loses, and all of a sudden now it's just Fruit City, there is no tree, and it can't carry on like that forever, but we can eat fruit for a long time, and we've eaten a lot of fruit, right? But the distinct lack of a tree has left us all thinking, the fruit's running out.
Or people saying, is the Vision a new tree, or things like that?
And you look at it and it just falls over in the first storm. The week, it's not even Storm Amy, just whatever, tree falls down. I was like, that wasn't the tree. And you look and you think, Cody Rhodes...
watching last night's show, I was like, is there a tree there?
Yeah. Well, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, we look at that and we think that could be the new tree. And then once a year we get really excited about it. It doesn't happen. But it might do. So yeah, Roman Reigns being kind of a real bastard tonight.
I like that. He's still technically a babyface. Yeah. He's like, oh, you're an arsehole.
Well, this is it, right?
But it works.
You sensed the growth of a tree. It may have been cut down in its prime, but the stump is still there and you can see it trying to grow. Does that happen? trees grow from stumps? I don't know.
You tell me.
But Roman himself, I've said for quite a few weeks now, just to step away from trees for a second.
Please do.
If I may. Roman's character hasn't necessarily made a lot of sense in this particular world in 2025 for me.
Especially with his schedule, yeah.
Yeah, tonight, it was perfect.
Please don't leave again.
It was perfect tonight.
Yeah.
Well, you say please don't leave, and I get where you're coming from, but also, he can leave.
Yeah.
Because everyone's a bit more chilled when, oh God, Roman's back. Like,
yeah.
That was where we were, like that, we'll get to it, but there's the one in particular in the, like the backstage bit. I was like, oh, mate, F off. Like, just chill out a bit, mate.
Yeah.
Do have a cow, mate. That sort of thing.
But yeah, he kicked off this show. Obviously, comes out. Crowd love him. OTC chants. Tells Dallas to acknowledge him at the start of the show rather than the end, like the one we went to.
Still got 3 hours to look forward to.
Yeah. And before he can get anywhere, bing bong, excuse me. Out comes Paul Heyman and big Bronson Reed. And then just sort of stand there. And Roman's like, you going to do something? You going to say something? You're just going to stare at me. Paul Heyman's like, you've ruined the entire shtick. Let me show you how it's done. Dallas, Texas, acknowledge your tribal thief. Bronson Reed, of course. And Roman Reigns acknowledged the one man on the face of this planet you fear in your heart. Not once, forget about your career, not once in your entire life have you ever been beaten to such a degree that you needed a stretcher.
And I mean... Folks, where's the lie?
Apart from, like, Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman and stuff like that. But
It's quite a hot angle on TV, that, but I wouldn't say it was like the hottest angle of the year, would you? The one in Paris?
Kind of had to be there for that one.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, not once could you, were you unable to leave under your own volition. All those football games at Georgia Tech, not once did you leave on a stretcher. Those Anawahi family barbecues where pissed up Samoans were having a battle royal in the backyard. Sounds class. Not once did you leave on a stretcher. Good. I try not to leave barbecues on a stretcher.
Stick it on the list of reasons I don't like barbecues.
Don't like barbecues?
I don't want to live on a stretcher.
Good point. And in your entire career, even before you were the tribal chief with me, at the height of your greatness, not once in your career did a man lay a beating on you to such a degree that you had to be placed on a stretcher, carried out of the arena, placed into an ambulance, and taken all the way to a hospital. Paul Heyman, very good at doing this sort of thing. As people, excuse me, shut up, this is cool. And Bronson Reed says, Roman Reigns, don't worry about them, listen to me. Your father. And I was like, oh, careful. Seeker, 45 years in the business, never stretch it out. Your uncle, 45 years in the business, never stretch it out. How do you think they feel looking down on you, watching you get stretched out by my hands? And Roman says, it's funny you bring up my father and my uncle. You didn't know them. The dumbass next to you, he did. What do you think my dad would say right now? My dad would say, fight him now. So let's do it. But Paul holds Bronson Reed back and says, it's a trap. Do it on your time. Let's not fall into this bait that he's laying out for us. So he's whispering in Bronson's ear, and Roman says, look, I've run this before. I know what he has to say. There's no wise words coming, just the words of a coward. He's telling you, don't fight me now. He's telling you, you're on the tribal chief's time. You're on my terms right now. Let's be honest. I'm levels above you. It's going to be my time, no matter the place, no matter where we go, when you want to do it, whatever fashion you want to do it, let me know, because I'm always going to be your tribal chief. Paul Heyman says, my compliments. Almost as brilliant as if it came from the wise man, that. But you want to know who, what, where, why? Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed, this Saturday night, Perth, Australia, at Crown Jewel, in a match that Bronson Reed has made famous. A match he's never been defeated in. A match I've just made up, basically. He's so dominant in it, WWE had to sign him to the main roster. This Saturday night at Crown Jewel, Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. Roman Reigns says 2 words, I accept. And Paul Heyman goes, good. Night, everyone. Goes to leave. And Roman Reigns says, whoa, hold on, Dallas. They walked in like tough guys. And now they're walking out like a couple of bitches. Reed's had enough at this point. He runs down to the ring. Yeah. All hell breaks loose. Security trying to pile in there. They fight in. Reed rakes the eyes of Reigns and sends him out of the ring. But Reigns hits a Superman punch, clears off the announce table. Again, all the security and officials get involved, as I said. And Roman hits another Superman punch. But they get separated, and Roman stands tall in the ring to close this awesome opening segment.
Mixed bag, I thought, but more good than bad. like mixed bag of apples. Like I liked Roman. They were hanging a lampshade on sort of that this is a rematch. You're doing Bronson Reed again. Some of the I think reasonable critiques of this booking by Roman saying, I've done it. You're just not on my level.
Yeah.
But nice one for trying and well done for the stretcher thing. But I get you.
I got my shoes back.
I got my shoes back. I'll kill you if you do it again. And I thought that was enough because as soon as you sense that they were going to the singles match, which we talked about they might do, I don't know about, maybe you disagree, but I just had this sort of, I don't want this again, really. Not really. I want something different. I wanted the tag at least. But then that would have been a rematch, as we talked about before. So there wasn't really anything in the docket brand spanking new for Crown Jewel. So I guess the singles match is fine.
I think the stipulation helps because you're like, oh, okay, so Bron Breakker's going to get involved. The Usos are probably going to get involved as well. Mm-hmm. And you sense, as we've said before, this is just a way to develop it to Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, surely Roman can't lose. Mm-hmm. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's a thing to... Because I've read somewhere this might main event. I was like, well, no, have the champion versus champion main event.
No, thank you. Street Fight is a way out, ultimately, of if Roman Reigns wants to
And
lose.
if they open, then it's like, right, well, there's no Usos, there's no Roman, there's no Braun or Bronson. Mm-hmm. They're all been taken out. It is Seth one-on-one with Cody in the main event.
They did a pretty cool job later on as well of making you consider the kind of ramifications of the babyface team, if indeed it is Punk, Roman, and the Usos as a four, which we'll get to as we go. So that was quite nice on the show. How you saw the idea of what would Roman Reigns and CM Punk as partners in this War Games match look like, and I think by the end of the show you got a good idea of that.
I love it being a four, by the way, and it being like Roman, as we said, Punk, Jey Uso, obviously, and John Cena.
Yeah, aye, and that's going to break Jimmy's heart, but he's going to have to be fine about it. And,
come on.
Come on. Because the Vision and Brock just feel like it's a good four.
Brock getting added.
There's a pretty solid 4-on-4 there, isn't there? Lots of overlapping story and the like. So yeah, I thought this took something that if you were just going to read it on paper, Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed, Australian street fight, it's a rematch.
Not many people are like Roman and Paul, and they can. Bronson played his part, obviously, but I mean, in terms of twisting it and selling it.
Yeah,
the job. They just said it's going to be an Australian street fight. People were like, what?
The job was to sell it. The job was to sell it here, and
he's made it feel like no one's ever laid a beating on Roman like that.
Yeah, it was effectively pitched like that. That was the sort of praise I wanted to give it, which might sound faint, but I think there's quite a job on. I think it's part of the problem, the 52-week-a-year problem, the churn problem, is that you simply can't make every match feel like the end of the world, like the special, yes. Oh my God, it's got to be tonight. But the least you can do, bare minimum, is when you are dealing with things like rematches or stuff that you've gone to the well with a lot, like Punk gets an incredible line in here about why all of a sudden you want that Seth Rollins singles match again. You want it to still feel special enough, or you want to be able to talk yourself into it being special enough. I've said this a lot this year. I don't know if it's good analysis or not really, but I've quite enjoyed living WWE this year when I've not enjoyed it as much through my kids' experience of it, because they've quite enjoyed watching the big shows and then tuning into little bits of Raw and SmackDown as and when they've had a chance to fit it in and the like. And I'm curious to get their thoughts on this when I speak to them about it, because we all sat and watched the Clash in Paris match together, and that beatdown was extremely effective when watching with kids. It was like open mouth stuff. Dad, they're killing him.
Yeah.
It was like, it was, I don't know what heavy he is now, but I was watching kids get totally taken in by it and thinking, oh, so there's that Roman finish then, that kind of, they're beating him. How does someone come back from this kind of thing? Like maybe Roman will come back here and maybe he'll come back there. They're kind of willing his return because they've seen him take such a beating. So I think there'll be some fans that'll be glad to be getting this rematch.
Yeah.
I needed selling on it, and I got sold on it.
So we get a recap after this of the Kabuki Warriors and the IYO SKY stuff from last week, and then we cut to, here she is, the star of the show, every week. And ever since Sid just pointed out the makeup she has that twists and contorts everything, I love it.
She's a bastard.
She's screaming at Adam Pearce, demanding that he makes a match between IYO SKY and Kairi Sane tonight. And Pearce says, I've got to make sure there's enough room on the show.
Yeah. That feels like them acknowledging a very reasonable criticism from the last several weeks.
And he also mentioned in passing that Rhea Ripley's already in Australia doing media, which makes all the sense in the world from all the different angles. Obviously, you get Rhea over there to promote the show. And obviously, if you're Asuka and, well, if you actually not Kairi, because Kairi had no idea what was going on. But if you're Asuka, you're like, numbers game.
Get her.
Yeah.
And it meant, obviously, that we didn't see Rhea Ripley.
Of
But
course.
they might like package that quite nicely at Crown Jewel. Like what she's been up to in Australia this week. She's been a kangaroo, showing how not to get your dog drowned.
Yeah. And what, 15 minutes into this show, Adam Pearce says he needs a drink.
Yeah, well, that's Piercy on a Monday.
Yeah. Kairi comes in. Evening, what's going on? Ask her. And she's like, well, we're going to beat some respect into Rhea and IYO at Crown Jewel. But tonight, you're going to kick the crap out of IYO SKY. And Kairi's like, oh, I don't really want to fight IYO. I think I can bring her back to the family. She's getting a bit emotional. And Asuka just slaps her in the face, says IYO is not family. Kairi understands. And she says, you better win. And she leaves and yells. And Kairi jumps and follows her. There was a great crowd sign of a sort of cartoon version of Asuka and Kairi, Asuka yelling at her. I love this dynamic.
Yeah, this was, I suppose, compared to last week, a quieter week for this storyline because all the work's been done to get to the match. It wasn't, it was still fairly significant across Raw, but if you consider the amount of TV time they've had lately, this was a minor step back and it was more about the match. And the Kairi Sane character, I quite like the plotting. This makes me think there's maybe still a whiteboard backstage because if you sort of chart it week to week to week, as you pointed out with Rhea Ripley in Australia, this would be the week that you would think, right, and this week's focus should be on Kairi. How does she really factor into this? When she turned, she did so seemingly under duress and then kind of got into it a bit. So what's that about? What's that dynamic about? Yeah. She's got no loyalty to Rhea Ripley, so that makes sense. But like, how does she truly feel about IYO SKY? And they were able to lay that element of it on thicker this week so that you can watch wondering if she'll be able to sort of break out. She won't, but like not yet anyway. But like, can she break out of this situation she's in with Asuka? And the answer is going to be no for a while, but long after they're done with IYO SKY and Rhea, that can become a new story between these two. And it's stuff to put in place now so that these characters, these four, are as fully fleshed out as they can be in time for Saturday.
And then we got to the moment in the show that everyone's been talking about. It was Becky Lynch versus Maxxine Dupri. Slightly concerning early start to this match. Back and forth. Maxxine gets some shots in. She's fighting on behalf of Akira Tozawa, of course, as well as herself. But Becky, for the most part, is in control until Maxxine hits a drop kick to the knee, I think it was.
Yeah. Looking ropey at first.
Anyway, comes off the apron. Lynch exploded her into the barricade. We go to a break. But we come back and Dupri fires up, hits some knees, hits a nice lariat, takes down the straps, gets an ankle lock, gets sent into the buckle. And you think, okay, that was a nice bit of offense for you. Let's take it home. But after getting beaten up in the corner, suddenly she hits a pretty brutal looking sit-out powerbomb.
Yeah.
Becky's head just snaps back and the fans sort of... Let's go. Lynch's cross-arm breaker gets countered. Dupri puts on an ankle lock. The fans are suddenly super into this. She hits a spin kick to the head, and I think, was that the really close near fall?
Yeah, a brilliant 2 count off that. Brilliant. Like Becky...
Might have been a 3.
But like the fans were with her so much, they were rooting so hard for that. And I mean, we'll get to it after.
Yeah, Becky realizes I'm in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah.
Gets a roll up with the trunks. Maxxine kicks out and it's like, you're doing that then, I'll put my feet on the ropes. Gets a 2 of her own. They go to the outside. Becky Lynch beats her up, chucks the brine bottle at her, sets her on the announce table, joyjacks with the crowd a bit, and Maxxine sort of rolls off, slides into the ring. I should have mentioned, by the way, prior to this, there had been a bit of a to-do between Jessica Carr, the referee, and Becky Lynch. Sort of shoved her a bit, giving her a bit of meh, right? So Becky's out there. Maxxine, as I said, has rolled back into the ring, and it's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bollocks to you.
Yeah.
Count out victory for Maxxine Dupri over Becky Lynch, who later on is apoplectic with all this. Who could have called Maxxine Dupri beating Becky Lynch?
And in the exact circumstances as well, he got it. He nailed it.
Well, the OTJ doesn't want to spoil everything for the
Smart.
fans.
You kept it a surprise for me. I appreciate that. I got a couple of complaints, but I don't want to dwell on them, to be honest. Like a virtuoso performance from Becky Lynch.
Oh my
God.
She was so good. Maxxine Dupri, as you pointed out, really did have a couple of occasions in this match where, no, we've gone too far. Like, this was a funnier bit than it was ever going to be a match. And how difficult is it to get back into something?
Yeah, she wasn't even worming out.
No worming out in this one. Worming out she wouldn't have been able to worm her way out of trouble after those botches. It was going to have to, I say botches, that's unfair, but like it was all...
Whiffs.
Whiffs. Yeah. She's fluffing the lines there a bit. And like, how many times does that pretty much kill a match? It's like, you just simply can't get them back. And it felt like the two of them were just determined to not let that stop them. They had a story to tell. They had time to tell the story. This was given like a fair whack of time for what, like, once you got through that like first commercial break, you're like, oh my God, right, this is far from just the TV squash where it's surprise roll up or Becky Lynch just squashes her. You thought it might go that way, but no, they're actually following through with this. Becky Lynch on the sell here. The way in which, like, especially as a heel, because as a baby face, she's such a good baby face that her vulnerability, it's not easy. Nothing's easy. But she's very sympathetic, Becky Lynch, very sympathetic. So when she's selling and when she's looking in trouble, like, the vulnerability is baked in with Becky Lynch. As a heel, who's an arsehole and a big-time, arrogant, like, sure of herself champion, who has purposely, like, booked this match to just favour herself. She wants to bully this babyface around.
Non-title. She could have put a title on the line.
Yeah.
She was that confident.
For Becky Lynch to suddenly be able to like, really, really manipulate things to put herself in as much trouble as she possibly could with the way that this match was arranged was absolutely fantastic. We talked this morning about Sami Zayn on SmackDown. Two people are both given the suffix Hogan. It's preposterous.
Two people that are weirdly getting their flowers again.
They're both doing at the moment on Raw and SmackDown that thing where it's not an unfounded criticism that sometimes WWE fans aren't that asked about matches, but Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn will make you asked about their matches. They will do it. They will use the dark arts. They will use all the big gestures if necessary, but they've got so many tools at their disposal at this point. I wasn't crazy on the finish. I get why, and I don't hate the not so much the ambition, but I don't really hate the idea of folding in Jessica Carr being more than happy to see Becky Lynch lose. You make a heel so detestable. We often talk about the MJF Cody one.
Yeah.
I give him one. Like
there was a tiny bit of me, I mentioned to you that I thought, are they going to book Jessica Carr in a match against Becky Lynch?
Yeah. It's.
I anticipate probably not, but you said she was working in Evolve or
She
something?
works in Evolve in a mask, I think, and they could certainly have. And she took that wicked bump. And it was at the Evolution match with Rhea and
I think so.
And I could well imagine Becky spending a week ruminating and then deciding, it's the referee's fault, that's what it is, and trying to slap her around or whatever. Just to buy this story a week until AJ Lee presumably is at the end of it.
But they'll do like a falls count anywhere or something.
Yeah, with Maxxine. I don't know what else I would have done differently, because I just didn't think the count out was quite... to be honest, right, in a match that I was taken out of from the early going, I was then drawn back in, and I was slightly taken out by Becky Lynch, like behaving like a kid. La la la, I'm the how are they getting in? Like it's.
I suppose she wasn't counted out in the traditional way.
Yeah,
that's the saving grace.
That's the sort of
Brian Alvarez made a good point where he's like, what they should have done is after that 2.3 kick out,
2.10.
Yeah, after that kick out, Becky maybe should have just stolen it with like a handful of tights and her feet on the ropes. And you're like, oh, come on. She had that.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know whether you got the same.
I think they wanted to be able to say it out loud. They wanted to put it on the website. Maxxine.
Maybe you do the feet on the ropes with Maxxine. So Becky can be like, well, she didn't win. She cheated. She put her foot on the ropes.
I think that might be it. I think the fact that, like, because people were game for it as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
She was so over as a babyface back then. I don't think anybody would have minded. So, but you don't know. And that was obviously the plan. They weren't going to deviate or anything. And net positive. I think definitely, like, the win has registered. It got the necessary, like, it did scan as an upset. We talked on, was it yesterday's preview about some of the most historic upsets? Some of them you just don't really remember. Like, I'm not suggesting this is going to go in that pantheon of all-time greats, but for the benefit of this storyline, they're going to replay the footage of Maxxine Dupri. What? I did it.
Yeah.
And like that.
She sort of does the 1, 2, 3 kids celebration. Get out of here right now.
Yeah, like slide out the ring. Becky Lynch is just, as you say, apoplectic. They've got everything they need out of this, I think.
Roman Reigns runs into the Usos backstage. And Jimmy's like, I'm not having that. They're talking about our family. And he's basically about to say, don't worry, Roman, we got you back at Crown Jewel. And Jay's like, I got you, actually. Anything? And Roman says, I'm good. Don't need any help, especially from you. Thought we talked about this. You should be hyper-focused on what you're doing. Matter of fact, who's coming out at the top of the hour? Not you, is it? After Jay says CM Punk. Jay storms off. And Roman, in a callback to, in my opinion, some of my favourite stuff, horrible, just stands there and goes, you know, I watched the show, Paul. I see and hear everything. What's the problem with Jay taking my advice? Jimmy's just there like, I think you're misinterpreting it, but he's speechless.
It's happening again. Yeah. This is... Last week when Roman came back, I agreed with Sidge. We were both like, I can't be arsed with this bloodline stuff again. Well, I can be arsed with this bloodline stuff again. I was sort of gripped here. Jey Uso, the poor guy. That's why he's got so many trees bursting out of his chest. Like, he couldn't do right for doing wrong with Roman back in the day, but bloody hell he tried, right? And if you could probably stretch this back to SummerSlam, when they won the opener as a tag team, and Roman took the bullet. He took the spear.
I think so. Yes.
For Jey Uso. And it was a real endorsement, wasn't it? It was a real kind of, there is absolutely no doubt. This is not just me saying yeet. This is not just X, Y, and Z. You're the guy. Off you go, sort of thing. Everything is fine. And then by Jey Uso subsequently not winning the world title in a four-way, and not getting the belt back at the next opportunity, and not even being able to get in the top of the hour on Monday Night Raw. That's Roman. Here's me sticking up for the abusive bad guy here. That's Roman Reigns being like, you're wasting everything I've given you.
Tough love.
Yeah, I couldn't have given you more. Like, I appreciate it wasn't all the best in the Bloodline era, but like, SummerSlam, we don't even need to go back to 2022, 2023. We can just go back to SummerSlam. Like, I bequeath to you everything with that moment, and this is the outcome. You're not in the top of the hour. Your latest shirt says yeeting ain't easy. I don't even like The Godfather. Like, it's just, the green looked nice.
I like the weird cuts on the back.
Well, was that a bit of a nod to try and look like Hulk Hogan, the top star? Was that him like dressing for the job he wants rather than, because that stuck out to me as well. He's like, he's never done that before. What's he doing?
I do remember as a kid when you used to see, like they have the vests effectively. Thinking like, I wonder where you get them. And I was like, they just get their own t-shirt and cut the sleeves off, basically, for some of them. I
used to think Hulk Hogan's like vest, it must be like gimmicked or something. Like it was just sewn gently so you could tear it away. I didn't realize it was just dead strong, dead muscler. Like I just thought that like you could buy them with a little cut in so you could tear them away, and then like maybe like with a zip so you could zip them.
Yeah, just keep want to use it again. Paid good money for this.
And it got better. It got better as the night wore on.
It got more horrible, but also better.
Yeah, love it.
Poor Jimmy, man. Jimmy Uso.
And Jimmy, right?
He's going to go off and be a dad in a bit.
But like,
there's a moment that's going to be.
There's a write-off incoming, isn't there?
And when even if you don't write him off, when he comes back and Roman's like, "Where have you been?"
Yeah,
been being a dad. Oh, I see.
I get it. Yeah,
that more important to you, is it?
But they're keeping Roman Reigns the babyface for the big stuff. Like, they're putting him in the opening segment, and he's just like, yeah, Roman Reigns there. Like, this is the stuff that actually matters. This is the stuff that resonates.
Speaking of people, if you're not sure you can trust them or not, Bayley catches Lyra. She's about to go out for a match. She says, can I be in your corner tonight? And again, Lyra's like, who am I chatting to here? Bayley's like, hey, it's future bloody WrestleMania match, if anything. And she's like, yep. How you feeling, Bayley? I'm feeling good. And she's like, you know what? Bollocks. Raquel's going to be out there for Roxanne. Mm-hmm. I could use all the help I can get. And she did help her.
Yeah, get well soon, Sidge. I don't want to make you sicker, but I have a concern for you that they might be dialing the story down a little bit. Because this was a bit more reserved compared to what we've had in recent weeks.
Well, it still took a turn post-match, let's say.
I mean, that's Bayley right now. But it was, what stuck out to me this week was that like Lyra was nowhere near as much of a stupid idiot.
Yes.
Like, they've been able to I wouldn't say they've retconned
She's
anything.
learning.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't say they've retconned any detail of it, but like Lyra just simply being fully aware of the situation she finds herself stuck in. It was like we said the other day, you have lived with this with Tatum Paxley before.
Well, maybe going down to NXT last week helped.
Helps a lot of people going to NXT.
But we got Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. Again, lots of angle stuff, but at its center, like the future of the women's division, basically.
Really
These
good.
are two sensational performers made by NXT, of course. The story early on in the match was, Lyra's great, but Roxanne Perez just targets that arm, a springboard knee to it, has it in trouble, and then she does the stomp over the corner, and we go to a break, and when we come back, Lyra fights back, but she can't get the fisherman suplex because of the bad arm. Raquel offers a distraction, and it looks like as Valkyria's up top, Roxanne's going to, as a result of that, snatch her off there. And Bayley, Lyra's no idea what's going on initially. Bayley just grabs her, holds on, so Perez spills down. Valkyria's little to Bayley, little thumbs up. Hits a moonsault, gets a nice 2 count. But then Raquel's like, I've had enough of this. Boots Bayley at ringside. So Valkyria's like, that's my mate. Mm-hmm. Drop kicks her through the ropes. And then Roxanne Perez.
Oh my God.
She's just the best. Dives through the ropes, tornado DDT on Lyra Valkyria, gets her back in, pop rocks, 1, 2, 3. Post-match, Bayley's not happy. And, we'll see where that takes them in a minute.
This was my cup of tea, this. I love a working heel in WWE, by which I mean they don't have to betray their technical brilliance because they cheat in the in-betweens. So Roxanne Perez was doing some really lovely work on the arm, but like a lot of it was shortcut stuff. A lot of it was stolen moments. She will take a referee's distraction and it's all right. Like the little extra kicks and the jabs and all that kind of stuff. And then, like, as you point out, the way she wins the match, fundamentally it's off like chicanery, but it's also off like some cool ass
Being
moves.
class, yeah.
Like it was a more of a sort of staple, I think, of WWE. Like the WWE I was raised on, really, in a way, because like Mr. Perfect would be a good example. Like, just an absolute bastard. But the reason he was called Mr. Perfect is because he looked like a perfect wrestler. And that was often what wound you up so much about him. And Roxanne Perez, in any other sort of era, and we said this about when she was in NXT, is the territory's top babyface. She wrestles the most. She wins a ton of matches. She's resilient. She's got a lot of ingenuity. She finds a way to win. So much of these things are like the qualities of a performer, of a wrestler, of an athlete. But at the moment, it's just like, hey, we're the bastards. Like the day her babyface turn comes, we all know. Like, this is a money run. And there's a mega money $1 million run still to come. It's like, I find...
And we haven't really delved that much into, if they want to, they don't necessarily even have to, Roxanne and Dom.
Like, Roxanne's mere existence is queuing up one of the babyface pops of the year / next year, whenever it is that Liv Morgan returns. She's brilliant, man. This was really good.
Yeah.
Like you pointed out how like NXT really did mold and shape these two. Their chemistry was terrific. Like, we obviously have seen them wrestle before, Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria, but seamless stuff. To back a bit of maybe fair criticism of my biases, I am sure that there are matches on Dynamite every single week that maybe wrestled at a different pace, but have a similar degree of technical ability and quality of in-ring work. Like talented wrestlers wrestling in a very talented fashion. But I put this one down completely to my personal investment in these two.
Yeah, I think they feel more like stars.
Like, if you consider how daft the wider story with Bayley is as well.
Yeah.
Like, how often the matches get derailed by the bollocks. This didn't stand a chance of being put off by the fact that Bayley's 3 separate Baileys.
I think this is the first one out of all the ones we've seen.
Yeah, that's probably
that
fair.
It's been like, and it worked the best. So maybe don't do as much and just do, I can't really work out what's going on in her head, but she's helping for the time being.
That'll do.
Yeah.
That sort of...
one of 2 amazing
Oh my God.
video packages on this show came next. Cena and Styles. We said doesn't really need any build, although we got a sell for it later on from AJ Styles.
Yeah.
WWE is a listening company, and they listen to the fans with this one. So thanks, Papa H. And Jackie Redmond tries to interview AJ about this match backstage, but he's immediately interrupted by the bloody Judgment Day, who are just bellends. Why do you think you can beat John Cena? You can't beat me. He's wearing a T-shirt, by the way. Dom says this. He's wearing a T-shirt of his younger self playing the PSP.
That's a nice touch, isn't it? Looks pretty good being Dominic Mysterio, doesn't it? Looks like a nice life.
Well, especially because you can do all this and be this much of a bellend, and then in the match, as part of the heel team, you can get in and people go, yay!
Dominic, like, it's so funny. Dominic effectively said, "You're useless. You can barely manage me, and I stink." Like what chance? Like, what's Dominic need to sort of rattle AJ when it comes to facing John Cena, other than just to be a dick to AJ Styles? It's good. It's good.
Finn's like, heard that you and Dragon Lee want to fight for the tag titles. That'd be a mistake. And Styles like, big talk because it's 3-on-1. I'm going to go and find a partner with Dragon Lee. Let's have a 3-on-3 match. See you later. Go to a break, come back, and they meet Penta before Penta can answer their request. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria are killing Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez until officials have to come in and break it up, and Adam Pearce is losing his mind.
Yeah, and cute touch that. Did like that. But again, Bayley, she was
but it is also
more on board with his help.
Let's jump them post-match and beat them up backstage.
That'll show them. The fight continues, that sort of thing.
She's bonkers.
Yeah.
Disappointing, obviously, no Michael Sidgwick today. Get well soon to him. Fingers crossed he'll be back tomorrow for all the Tuesday Night War stuff between NXT and AEW, because he was excited by this show. I got a frantic text from him this morning as we pan to ringside, and I'll just read the text he sent me here. Yeah. He said, "Oh my God, is that John Crimber and Hudson Bolton, the Bull Riders?" And then he said, "OMG, can't believe I got to see the world champion bareback rider Rocker Steiner." And the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders as well. Thanks to WT on Twitter, who asked about Sidgwick's excitement about Rocker Steiner, the bareback rider that he is.
Stacks liked him. NXT preview, wherever you get them. They love these guys. It's a TKO thing, isn't it?
It's a professional bull riders thing.
Yeah,
I think maybe we should start watching.
They've got a couple there every week on Raw. These,
yeah. I did see a funny thing.
Horses for courses.
That someone had posted. So I assume it's the same in the States. Sometimes when you're like in a doctor's waiting room and there's telly on, they've got like tipping point or whatever on, but they're like, well, we won't put the sound on. That's distracting. We'll just put the subtitles on, but they're always like 10 seconds behind.
Yeah.
So someone posted a screenshot. It cut to the lovely Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and the text simply read, "Professional bareback rider."
But they're not. They're the cheerleaders.
Yeah, I was confused by it as well, mate.
Right. Okay. Hopefully Sidgwick is well soon, and we can ask.
Hopefully,
him.
can clarify the.
I don't know why that's funny.
No, me neither.
But you were laughing. You said.
No, I was just thinking about something else.
Okay. That must have been really funny.
Is it great to be alive on a Monday night in Dallas or what?
Yeah.
CM Punk's out there.
King's back, baby.
He does Stars and I are big and bright. Deep out of Texas. I can't remember the tune.
Nah,
but
he's always
it's over. He's over, obviously. And he fakes leaving. I went, "Where are you going?" "Oh, no, it's just joking, thank God." Says, "You guys miss me?" "Yes." Don't want to take up too much of your time. A couple of things I want to address. Thanks everyone for their warm welcome for AJ Lee back in WWE. And then he turns his attention to Crown Jewel Saturday night. He mentions obviously Cody versus Seth. And one of the reasons he hasn't been here is he wanted to keep his nose out of Cody's business.
The other reason was a hair transplant.
What was it called? Pompadour?
It's bloody loads of it.
It's spectacular.
It goes up there and it goes all the way there, and then it's got this like perfect line at the back. Definitely normal hair.
Yes.
That's what I like about Punk's hair.
It's
normal.
As much as I'm involved with Seth, I don't want to get involved in Cody's business. But I've also been off celebrating with my wife, beating Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins at WrestlePalooza. But he takes us all the way back to the start of the year. the Netflix debut where he beat Seth Rollins. He said, I'll start the year doing that, and I'm going to end it beating Seth Rollins. He points out the sign in the crowd that says CM Punk deserves his World Heavyweight Championship back. He appreciates it, but deserves the wrong word. Earn is the right word. At every turn, when it's one-on-one, straight up man-to-man, he's got Seth Rollins' number. He says, Seth Rollins, CM Punk is better than you, and everybody knows it.
Eh? You get it? Wonder who that was for. I think we know the guy. What did you think of that? Have you, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, best friends, are you not?
We are, but he's off. He said he's on sabbatical at the moment.
Oh, right, you're right. Okay, yeah.
Is he jumping?
No, I don't think so, man. Yeah, I think there's something.
Is that an MJF reference?
I mean, I think it was, but I wouldn't imagine it's to facilitate a move.
I think if I was AW, I would have that contractor locked down.
Yeah, the war. What was it? The War of 2024.
Yeah,
like 18 months deep into it. Yeah,
Wilbourn.
we can dream.
Interesting lot of this.
Go on.
You like Dodgeball 2004 as well, don't you?
I loved it. I watched it recently because we were talking about
So
it.
did I. And it was when I rewatched it that I noticed that that's potentially among other places where MJF got it from.
Ah,
Was it Globo Gym Fitness? We're better than you, and you know it.
yes.
is there a second Dodgeball film?
Not yet.
No, you
But
called
a
it
girl
Dodgeball
can dream.
2004, and it made me wonder if there's like another, like a film called Dodgeball from like 1978 about like a car. Steve McQueen's got a car called Dodgeball.
No, I just think sometimes when films are from 2004, I have to call them that the same way that
Yes.
I call Alfie 2004. It's
It was
just
a
stuck in
bumper
my head.
year.
Because The Wrestler was a film, I think 1978 maybe, 79. Obviously, there was the Aronofsky one, which is well known now.
Yes.
But as a result, people might say, "Oh, The Wrestler 1970, whatever." I wondered if there was like an old film called Dodgeball.
I mean, there might be.
Yeah, but I think of Dodgeball as that. Was it a true underdog story? Was that have I
Yes.
made that up?
Yeah. No, you're correct.
Jesus. Sorry, just look what films came out in 2004.
Life Aquatic as well. That was out
Dead
in
Man's
2004.
Shoes,
Yeah,
it says.
You're there, mate.
2004.
Football Factory.
What?
No, I don't mean no.
You're there, mate.
You're there, mate.
Collateral, Layer Cake.
Oof.
Yeah.
Collateral was good.
Collateral's good.
Jackass #2.
My wife has
All the
bit
good
of-
films.
has a bit of a thing for Tom Cruise, and I think Collateral Tom Cruise might be a favourite of all the Tom Cruises.
Possibly the sexiest.
I think in terms of something to look at.
But also probably one of his best roles, I would
Yeah,
say,
mhm.
that he's ever done.
The Notebook. Napoleon Dynamite. Shaun of the Dead. Walking Tall with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Not Dwayne Girock.
Not Dwayne Girock.
So excited.
I did like Napoleon Dynamite as well.
Yeah,
Who
it was
didn't?
good.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Team America.
Ah, F yeah.
Jesus, leave some for the other years, guys.
Maybe that was why the Fed was so...
Aviator 2004 as well.
Hmm?
Aviator.
Aviator, yeah.
That was why the Fed was so useless in 2004. So what's the point in trying to compete with the regular cinema? Like,
Is that
Meet
where
the
they moved
Fockers.
towards cinema because they were getting their asses kicked
That
by
was- that was
actual
it?
cinema. Yeah.
they were like losing at the box office.
Oh, the Girl
Machinist.
Next Door with Elijah Cuthbert. Oh my god.
The Machinist.
Sorry, I thought you were getting excited about Elijah Cuthbert there.
Girl Next Door.
Closer.
Closer. Good
Love
film.
Closer. I can't take my eyes off of you. I can't take my mind off of you. That was Closer, right? Otherwise, I've just done my best Damon Rice. I've just thrown it away.
Yeah. Did you just call him Damon? Is he Damon
Damien
Rice?
Rice?
Damien Rice.
And his brother Damon.
His
Damon Rice.
Hello, I'm Damon Rice. Did you see the clip from the F1, by the way, the weekend? I don't watch it, it's rubbish. But
Agreed.
there was Lewis Capaldi was at the Singapore GP, and you know that Martin Brundle's like walking around, and he just shoves me out of the way, yo. And Martin Brundle, it's brilliant. It's some of my favourite stuff. And he's just
Quite
like,
fancy
some other journalists want to get an interview, but I don't think they're Martin Brundle. See you later. He goes up and he's like, hey, Lewis Capaldi. And it's Lewis Capaldi's brother. He's like, I'm his brother. And he's with behind him. And he's like, oh, you look, sorry.
Do they look
By the way,
alike or not?
They do look alike.
Okay,
to be fair.
all right.
He's just, and he's like, someone is clearly, he's like pissed at him because like, the producer said, oh, he's there behind you in a hat. And it is just his brother wearing a hat, but obviously it slightly obscures him. So he's just clearly going to bollock the producer. I don't know, someone told me it was you. All right, mate.
I look an idiot now.
Scooby-Doo 2,
I was just looking at that Scooby-Doo too. The Butterfly Effect.
Chronicles of Riddick.
The butterfly effect was in that like lovely post Donnie Darko period where it's a piss easy to clever films actually.
Yeah.
And it isn't. Like,
I remember watched that film when I was that age and was like, have you ever seen this incredible film, The Butterfly Effect? Because they have the I think it's that one that has the Limp Bizkit, the Who cover behind Blue Eyes. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but I'm pretty sure there's a pretty massive plot hole, isn't there?
I mean, there's a gigantic...
I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen it, but if I recall, there's a reason why the film fundamentally can't work.
I won't spoil it, but once you figure it out, you're like, oh, well, I can never watch this film again now. Never mind.
Never mind.
But for that little brief period, when I watched it at 14, and I was like, you know what?
There's
a problem with this. Shut up.
Ignore the giant hole in your trousers, it'll be fine.
Films, eh?
Yes, so it's an MJF reference. I don't remember where we are. I'm better than you, and everybody knows it.
That was totally my fault for what once on this podcast.
No,
it was my fault for
a fun tangent, that.
How he hung on that line, just to glare down the lens. It's stuff just means stuff to me. Oh, God.
He says, I'm going to get my world title back. I'm going to become the new world heavyweight champion. Bing bong, squeeze me. Here comes L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
He said, let me tell
you. He had a weird night, didn't he, LA Knight?
Yeah.
Up and down.
He sort of said something in a minute, and then he went, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that, obviously.
Just to be clear.
But he did hang in there, I suppose.
He did.
You're in there with Punker.
Yeah, they were clearly given, for those that haven't seen it, Wilbourn will do a brilliant job recapping, but apply the context of this recap that Wilbourn's about to give you, where obviously they've got a set of things they need to follow. You know, we've talked at length before, LA Knight and CM Punk. You censor two of the wrestlers that don't need to go word for word in the script, but please make sure you get to the key points. The key points are well addressed, but they're like the non-scripted like riff-off stuff they do is where like you can kind of see like CM Punk playing with his food a little bit. And it's like, I sense the mutual respect at the end of it.
Yeah, I got that.
But it was a bit like, what you got?
Baptism of fire sort of thing.
What have you got? Yeah.
Because Punk, Knight comes out and says, let me talk to you. He says, look in my eyes. What do you see? And Punk went, somebody interrupted me.
It's a 40-yarder. What you got?
He says, very good. Catch a little tune. But this man that's interrupting you, this one that's standing in front of you now, this is a man who walked in the door, blew the doors off this place, and I still haven't got what I deserve, what I've earned, and that's my reign as World Heavyweight Champion. You did say some things I agree with, but I just want to point out a couple of omissions. You're the man that's known for the pipe bomb, but lately you haven't been known as much for the pipe bomb as you've been known for being a husband. And then went, no knock on that, obviously.
He's got a bit of a history of this in LA Knight. Do you remember, like, it was...
What was he saying?
It was like I think it was
crying.
Like... crying. National Mental Health Month. And he was like, you're in there crying like a bitch. Not that crying's a bad thing. Crying's actually quite good.
It.
In fact.
Let it out. I like LA Knight.
Me too.
Because he sort of... acknowledge it, like, you know, sometimes people go like, I said what I said.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, probably shouldn't have said that, actually.
Yeah. You're being a stinking husband. Much like a lot of the stinking husbands up in this building, am I right?
Well, my stinking husband's heads.
Shout out if you're a stinking husband, you big losers, am I right? We're cool.
So Knight continues after Punk's like that. You insult me for being a husband?
He's that guy in an office, isn't he, who like, needs a bit more peace. He's like trying to fit in with PC culture. And he's like, am I doing it right? Oh, I was close. You know what I meant, though.
Punk's little smirk as well. He knows he's got yeah, my husband. Sure am.
Guilty.
Got the
This is the backpedaling you get. No, it's not an insult. Matter of fact, well, I want to say everyone needs love. Everybody watching. I commend you for cultivating that. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. But you're a great husband, but a trash man.
It's just probably a little emoji.
Listen, he's not going to be the trash man, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have a job, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine if Punk had done that halfway through the brawl out, where he's like, I'm dealing with EVPs that couldn't manage a target. I mean, I understand that managing a target must be incredibly difficult with all the stock and all that. Like, but he said, it just derails the whole thing.
Place you got to spin there.
Anyway, there was something else about Hangman. I've forgotten it. See you later, guys. Who takes a belt and leaves.
And his muffins.
Anyway,
I'll have them. Actually.
no, I guess back on track
I'll finish them at home.
by saying,
Trying to remember what he was going to say. Sorry.
He's just got like a mouthful, like so. The show's back out with his mother.
no, not there's anything wrong with Sharon. Obviously, whoever's the best person in your family to manage finances is probably sensible. In fact, ISIS are pretty good around this time of year. Good idea to fully invest in. What was the same?
That was for everyone at home. That was ISAS.
ISIS, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, not ISIS.
Okay.
He says anyway, you have 5 minutes as world champion, and then you got pinned at SummerSlam, and then you go to Clash in Paris. He pins you again. You know whose shoulders Seth Rollins has never ever pinned? And Punk's like, I imagine it's the same guy that's never been world champion, right? And he's like, oh, good point again. But I have never been pinned by Seth Rollins. You're a 2-time loser.
Somebody who's not been married, maybe.
Of course, nothing wrong with not being
Yeah,
married.
they're just like, we just agree to disagree on all subjects. Yep, we're good. See you next week.
I'm a 2-time winner
Monday
against...
Night Raw. Tuesday's fine if it's better for you.
It's on Netflix. Watch whenever you want. Please watch within the 7-day period, though.
Or not. Whatever. We've all got busy lives.
Yeah, yeah. Just, if you're not watching it, just let it play. That'll count as a...
Yeah.
Omnibus is fine too, if you want.
I love this segment.
Yeah.
We're taking the piss. I love this segment.
Yeah. He says, I'm a 2-time winner against Seth.
Oh, God.
Granted, one of the times I was a DQ. I am the last one to pin Seth Rollins. And I'm damn sure going to be the next one. And the next World Heavyweight Champion. Bing bong, squeeze me. How comes Jey Uso says, I'm going to stop you right there. I've finished talking. I'm finally thinking clear, Uso. My mind's clear. I'm the one. I never got my rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm the one that's next up for the World Heavyweight title. 8! And LA Knight says, what is this? Deja vu right now? Of course, there's nothing wrong with Deja vu. Some, good film. Some of the best work. Denzel, I love that film.
LA Knight, yeah. Oh, no.
He's... This is the thing now, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like that.
LA Knight. All day. Could be that. Could be that.
Let me talk to you. If you've got the time, obviously,
Oh, God. It's a good job we don't do bits, or we might.
Polite LA Knight.
No, it's LA. Surely LA.
LA.
Polite.
It's polite.
That's it.
Polite.
You've
Yeah,
nailed
oh
it.
no.
You've nailed it.
What's he back into next week? Because we all know we always called him LA Polite.
LA Polite, yeah. Oh, no.
Right. Where are we? We talked about Paris. Yeah, you had the World Heavyweight Championship. You lost it. Your time came. It's gone. You think it's your time, Punk. You think it's your time, Jay. No, it's my time. Yeah. Or it's not, whatever time you've got. Different times, different countries, different times.
Different needs.
British summertime, Greenwich Mean Time. What I'm telling you is you lost that title because you're not quite Roman enough. That's what you think. That's not quite right. You're not going to be Roman. You're not Roman Reigns. You're not going to be Roman Reigns. As far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing. You carve your own path. That was nice. But where you carve your path, your best shot right now, you might want to focus on those tag titles. Although, from what I saw last week, you probably would have stopped sucking. You probably need to stop sucking as being a tag team. While I'm at it, Jimmy, I didn't mean to give you any crap. He's apologising again. No, Jimmy's fine. Obviously, I like Jimmy. I know you and I are good, but this man keeps getting in my way. And I'm going to hit your off switch. You're going to understand what I'm going to do to you. And when I'm talking to you, Punk, and you just get super kicked by Jey Uso in that moment, and Punk says, I assume we're cool. I assume you interrupted him, not me. I understand your passion, brother. You won the World Heavyweight Championship, but you're going to get in line behind me. Maybe you should focus on being a tag team because I love Jey Uso. but I don't like little Roman.
Oh, yeah, what a line that was.
Jimmy stops Jay from getting into a brawl with Punk. Jimmy's trying to calm Jay down. And the noise, this right hand slap, I assume slap, Stockton slap, it's got on Jay.
Glasses like sort of just nudged a bit off the back of his head, didn't they?
Punk nails him with that, tells Jay to stay out of his business, turns around, super kick from Jimmy Uso, who helps Jay back to his feet. What a segment.
I am wary we have undermined this segment somewhat.
Fair, that's a fair point. We got giddy.
Because
go and watch it.
Yeah, because this was strong stuff. The stuff that we had a bit of fun with at the beginning of the bit actually happened. And LA Knight briefly took a short trip to Stumbo Bumbo Town, population him, but then he left. And then we got back to business. And I thought this was really strong.
Yeah.
I love the four-way build to Clash in Paris.
Yeah.
I love this, like, the three of these just need to get on even, like, a bit of the same page, and one of them will beat Seth Rollins. And then, like, they all need to remember what the bigger picture is. And they've all got these overlapping conflicts, but, like, just eyes on the prize. And then we'll worry about that afterwards. Like, and at different points in the feud, one would be saying it, and then another one would be. It's like none of them were the bigger man because they were all, like, really running their own race. But
we'll
like,
get back on point as soon as I just slap him in the face.
Yeah, but I'm going to slap him in the face. And on that went. And again, it played. I put this over at the time. It played nicely into it being kind of like Jey Uso was semi-responsible for it all falling apart because he's the most impetuous one and he makes like the impulsive bad decisions. CM Punk and LA Knight have always got this uneasy, like they're overflowing with machismo, and sooner or later that gets the better of them, as it did here.
Yeah.
They played that out in a way that again didn't make it feel anything like a rerun or anything. It's like, oh, these ill feelings haven't gone away, and the same problem remains. CM Punk came out, it's call his shot on Seth Rollins, which is what he was doing before he's got one fucking time.
Yeah.
But like, it just kind of navigate around them, and they have every right to be in the fight as well. Like LA Knight,
they're like, I'm not having this. He's not walking out there and just saying that and getting it. Yeah.
Don't think you can just jump the queue, mate. Jey Uso's got this newfound, I simply like by Roman. You're not in the top of the hour. How can I fix that? I'm going to put myself in the top of the hour, you know? So he's out there. I'm not even sure, like the Jey Uso character.
Seth hasn't defended the title since August, right?
Clash in Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, does...
Like he's just sort of, you argue amongst yourselves, I'll just keep this title reign going.
Me and Codes are kicking about. Jey Uso, at this point, wasn't... I can buy, in storyline, that Jey Uso had no intention of bothering himself with what CM Punk and LA Knight are up to, but Roman Reigns has got in the back of his mind. Who's at the top of the hour, and he's going, well, it's going to have to be me then. So he goes out there, and it's almost like he hasn't gone out there with a plan. Just, I need to keep myself in the mix. Like,
and he's almost trying to convince himself, I can see, I was worried before, I can see clearly now.
Like you can sort of picture Jimmy going like, what's the strategy, Jay? I don't know, yeet, it'll work out.
Yeah,
like,
follow my lead. What is your lead?
Like, he's kind of like starting to flail a little bit, but in doing so, he's trying to obscure that by being the most bowled up and confident he can possibly be. And then the way it played out at the end was this really quite intricate, right, who hates who's fallen out with who still likes who, but could ultimately trigger an attack from who. And it was really, really well handled. Really well handled. Like, CM Punk, after LA Knight goes down, and CM Punk delivers that killer line about, like, little Roman, like, that's this uncrossable line with Jey Uso, because Jey Uso's going out there thinking, nobody's going to think about it because of Roman said so. I'm out here because of myself. And the same Punk just outright said it, you're out because of Roman, you fucking loser. So, like, that's obviously going to be this little stick of dynamite. And then Jimmy, it comes back to, like, why can't we all just be mates? It's like, you work in the wrong company for it, Jimmy. I'm sorry, you should know now. It's been 14 years. Like, him, like, he doesn't really want to kick ass, but certain times, situations...
I'm standing for that.
Yeah, it will require him to kick some ass, and thus he does, and thus we get quite a nicely arranged, like, match.
And Jay didn't even thank him later.
No, but then Roman never thanked him.
Yeah.
So he's learning the worst lessons from his time underneath the tribal chief. Really, really, really strong. Don't be entirely put off by us being silly sausages.
I'm going to have to go back and watch this segment now, because I enjoyed that so much.
Me too.
But it was, a lot better than we've made it come across there. But we like to have fun.
We have a laugh. You got to laugh.
And, well, apart from the Try Not to Laugh video.
Yeah.
which is still worth checking
So
out.
like, it's sort of the opposite of you gotta laugh. It's kind of like if LA Knight said you gotta laugh, and then said, but then if you don't want to, don't. That's what I do.
IYO SKY video package. This was awesome because it was people shouting in Japanese. I love it. There was a bit of English in there, but there was subtitles throughout. Basically chronicling her history with Asuka. I wrote this down because I thought it was just amazing. Asuka, what's happened isn't Rhea's fault. It's yours. You broke my heart. I owed everything to you. Kairi and I are in WWE because of you. We looked up to you like a big sister. I wanted to be just like you. But your jealousy and your disrespect changed everything. I always gave you credit for my career. You're one of the reasons I became champion, but you're not the only reason I became champion. I didn't want to believe Rhea, but she was right. You only want what's best for you. A real family member, ironic considering what we've just seen, a real family member wouldn't tell me who to be friends with and wouldn't take credit for what I've done. We're not family anymore, but I'm starting to find out who is. And at Crown Jewel, you will find out that Asuka is not ready for IYO.
Nice. Yep, good stuff, this. Again, this felt like a more understated week for this story as opposed to some of the stuff we've seen recently, but it was better for it.
Yeah. And IYO... it wasn't just all talk because we got IYO SKY versus Kairi Sane next. But before the bell even rings, IYO just sprints past Kairi as they both get in the ring and dives onto Asuka before the match can officially begin. Sky goes after Kairi Sane outside the ring. They go back and forth. There's I think there's a moonsault from... I think this was during the break, actually, because I think there was a moonsault from IYO SKY to take us to a break. But the thing everyone's talking about is IYO and Kairi fighting outside the ring. Asuka distracts her. Kairi shoves her into the side of the ring and hits an Alabama slam on the edge of the ring, which looked brutal.
Yeah.
During the break, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
They showed it, I think, when we came back.
Yeah, it's like anything, I suppose. You can't waste a bump like that or on the ads or to not televise it.
So this lit a fire in the online discourse that was dreadful. Yes,
I don't know about this.
It's the same thing of what was it, Carl Fletcher and Adam Cole. I think that bump was worse. I agree. I think Kairi gets I think IYO gets her hands up, but whatever. Like the same people who were like, "Oh, this is such a cool sick bump," were then clutching their pearls and saying, "Oh, that's worse. That's terrible. You should be doing that." And then the polar opposite, the exact other way. People who are like, "Oh, God, it's so dangerous over in AEW. This is why the company that they are." Were like, "Oh, this is sick. It's sick. It's sick. It's great. I love this. This is why it's the best." Just stop making everything so tribal.
Or do make it tribal if you want to.
Or do, it's entirely up to you.
It's your choice. You live your life.
Yeah. From what I've read and heard and my sources, IYO's fine. Yeah. Later on, Kairi Sane goes for an insane elbow, but IYO SKY gets her feet up, hits a meteor in the corner. But Asuka jumps up on the apron, distracts IYO SKY, and that allows Kairi to cradle her. And Asuka just basically pins IYO SKY for Kairi Sane by just holding Kairi down for leverage for the win. Post-match, numbers game beat down. Dallas, I love you, but you're not listening earlier because there's a beatdown. Everyone's like, "Here she comes. Where's Rhea Ripley?" I was like, well, if she's going to try and make it, it's going to take quite a while to fly back over from Australia because, yes, they beat down IYO SKY and Kairi hits an insane elbow.
Yeah. This is kind of what I was saying before, ultimately. Like, this was more along the lines of a decent TV wrestling match. They'd have been better on this show, but Kairi Sane is the one I want to isolate for a bit of praise here because across this story, we've said it week upon week, she's pretty much all the way back, I think. It was a long old road as well. I was wondering if she was ever going to kind of find that spark or that snap or whatever it was that used to, like, I can't pretend to have seen Kairi Sane, like, outside of maybe 3 or 4 matches. And I mean, I don't just mean before she first came to WWE, but in the time she left as well. Like, most of what I've seen has been within WWE and NXT. Yes. And I think I probably speak for like the vast majority outside of those that know. And it just, 2023, I think she, like late 2023, I think she returned. And it just didn't look there. Something looked off and it was hard to nail down exactly what it was. This story, I can't think of a period where she hasn't been, like her work and her quality work hasn't been integral to it. The insane elbows become like this particularly devastating.
I used to love it as well, yeah.
Yeah, they've weaponized it in a different way. Like there's a cruelty to the fact that she's doing it to Io, and it's just like I'm putting a dagger through the heart of a family member type thing. And I just think that's really impressive because it's such a babyface move, and she's such a babyface. But yeah, this heel work, it's like it's at the point now where like I think quietly is she my favorite of the four? No, it's probably Io, but like it's her stuff again with say Rhea, for example. I'll be more excited about than Asuka's with Rio and Asuka's with IYO SKY. So fair play to Kairi Sane.
Absolutely. Then we get another amazing video package. The history of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, Part 2, Allies.
Phenomenal.
It was the best of times, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We said so at the time. And
WrestleMania 40, and then the path to Cody and Roman teaming, of course, and how Seth felt betrayed by all this because, I mean, he sacrificed himself at WrestleMania 40.
It's not fake. They're not kind of like trying to build stories on foundations made of sand. These were real things that were brilliant to live through and are brilliant to relive and use and utilize. Seth Rollins, and we said this at the time, and I'll always be a situational Seth guy. Not necessarily always for the matches, but for the role he plays and the things that he facilitates between other characters. He was, we said this then, kind of like completely in the right in his own personal frustrations with Cody teaming with Roman Reigns. And then if you remember, he rejected Roman, or like the idea of teaming with Roman outright for War Games. Like this is a no, and this is a hard no. And Sami Zayn, like, how dare you think about bringing the bloodline together? And Punk as well, are you fucking joking me? And then you can easily plot that course to, well, that's why that happens at WrestleMania. That's why he thinks, well, if this is how all of them are going to look at it, I might as well cut the head off the snake here and take Paul Heyman for myself. That'll take out Roman and Punk at the same time. That'll solve all my problems. Cody Rhodes, like when I would do everything to solve his, isn't even going to like pay me the respect to not just, because in Seth's mind, Cody has, by teaming with Roman Reigns, basically allowed him back to work. Seth is so deluded, like, bless him, the babyface, be like, yeah, we've taken the title off him. He's retired.
yeah.
That's kind of how they spin this. And then Cody's like, I need him for this thing. What? But he left. Like, that's how sort of like much of that volcanic eruption that sort of was bubbling underneath Seth. So you get to the point where and now, you know, like he's like, problems dealt with. No Roman, no Punk. And like, look at this show. I'm going with Paul Heyman for this. You're fucking joking me. Like, he could tie all this in. It was Cody's fault and I was helping him.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It is brilliant storytelling featuring a character that half the audience don't give a toss about. Like, Seth Rollins will never be the guy, but good, because if he was like categorically the man, then this doesn't really work. Like, if he just lives with the comment, I did it. I'm the top guy. Like, no, he's got to be insecure till the day he dies.
Yeah.
Sorry, Seth Rollins.
It works.
Like, you can never be permitted the keys to the kingdom because this is how this is as good as it is.
Build to this match. It's like it could be for the two-wake piss trophy.
But he needs to beat him.
But
he needs to beat him.
And also in that video package, we got a clip of that awesome cinema that they shot on that football field.
Brilliant.
You're in my way. No, you're in my way in life. Just to clarify, love that. I also loved all the way boiled piss.
I'd love that video, but that was brilliant. There's 16 cars and Roman got the first one. Oh, off his go.
Bye. So we cut from that amazing
that was bad
video
blood,
package.
wasn't it? Because that was, of course, when The Rock came back and he put his plan in motion. Oh, knifey gunny. And then we knew one of these days that's going to lead to John Cena's heel turn.
Yeah. Told you.
Just says that.
Yeah.
Told you. Told me what? No.
So we cut from this amazing video package to the sort of Vision locker room. There's Paul, there's Seth Rollins just looking at his watch, and there's Becky Lynch just, you crooked referee, Maxxine Dupri. I'm not going to Perth. That's it. I'm not going to Perth. I need some time. And she says, I'm not coming back until you get better referees. She storms off, and Seth tells Heyman, I think we need to talk. I need to win on Saturday. Paul Heyman, usual role that he plays. You will win. Seth's like, yeah, what if I don't? He's like, you will. No, Paul, what if I don't? And he's like, I'll be honest, if you lose to Cody, you lose the locker room, you lose the faith of Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed. You throw away everything we've built since WrestleMania. This entire Netflix era has been built around Seth freaking Rollins, and you would become a de facto wannabe secondary champion. Do yourself a favor. Don't lose at Crown Jewel. And Seth's like, oh, can't help but notice you didn't mention yourself in there. What happens if I lose to you at Crown Jewel? Not lose to you at Crown Jewel. What happens to you if I lose at Crown Jewel? And he says, you lose to Cody Rhodes. Maybe I ask myself why I picked you over Roman Reigns.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm treeing out, man. Segment after segment after segment after segment, Roman Reigns is the tree, and he was the tree, and we haven't got the tree no mo, but we've got things that can reference the tree, and it's almost as good.
Yeah.
Like Seth Rollins, again, like Jey Uso, with his own really difficult and complex relationship with Roman Reigns, not just in terms of their direct relationship, but in what does their career look like in contrast to Roman Reigns' career and how that drives so many of the character decisions. I love Cody and Seth Law so freaking much. Like, I cannot believe that they've...
Every single match they have, it's all or nothing, isn't it?
Yeah. And they've dropped so lucky because let us not forget, right, that like fundamental, like the origins of this are a fluke. Like they absolutely got there by 2023, 2024, and like the Hell in a Cell where Cody's broken titty is a stone cold bona fide WWE classic.
Mm-hmm.
But this begins with like Seth Rollins, Spider-Man in Vince McMahon's office. Like, who's my opponent? Like,
This could have been Shane. The whole thing could have been Shane McMahon.
All would have been Shane McMahon. Yeah. Where's the party, Vince? You know, like, it could have been that. And instead, off the back of those, like, those first three matches and how impactful they were in the old world WWE.
And the importance of him going 3-0.
Yeah. Like, imagine if they'd booked the Backlash as a ones each in order to make the Hell in a Cell some sort of decider. But no, it was committed. Like the push of Cody Rhodes, probably a little bit out of spite, was committed.
Yeah.
Like what was going on over there in 2021 was kind of making a bit of a mess of you. You're going to be the top baby face because we kind of want to rub it in their face. We're not keen on that, Mr. CM Punk and what he's doing over there in AEW. So we're going to do something about this.
Now, though, of course, Punk.
Hey. You all right?
Aye. Sensational. Loved it. Can't wait for the match.
Like, I just read online, I was looking at this one, and people were like, Seth Rollins the best? Like, is this...
Do you know what? I've got an
Imagine
answer.
us sitting there, pissed up in... What was the name of the bar? It wasn't Aurora. That was the class one for most of the nights in Vegas. The one we went with the beer tower. Watching that Raw after WrestleMania.
Flanker,
that's it. Imagine us sitting there, buzzing, let's be honest, off the back of that Raw after WrestleMania and going, you know where this is all building to, don't you? Crown Jewel in Australia in October.
The big one. And of course,
that's the end of the world. It's the end of the world on Saturday.
That's what all I ever ask for is the feeling of the end of the world. And by the way, Seth Rollins winning here, and I think he will win.
He will. He has to. He has to.
We'll get this. It's always the same for Seth. He just wants the validation that he can never actually get. So there's going to be an element of, hey, so we're all right, aren't we? Me and you, Paul, aren't we? Paul's like, bit of news. I've got Brock Lesnar for War Games.
Yeah.
Excuse me? Like,
so I'm the number one world champion, right? Huh?
Yeah. No, it never gets better. Never gets better for Seth. And that's why when people say, is Seth Rollins the best? No. And that's what makes him sometimes so good.
Jey Uso's complaining to Roman Reigns backstage. Oh
my God.
It just keeps coming. Why was Jimmy out there? I was trying to run a play. Are you trying to protect Punk? Jimmy's like, huh? You better recognise what side you're on. What? Me? What's that me for? I'm on your side. Jay walks off. Jimmy sees what's going on with Roman and Jay. Roman's pulling strings, playing mind games. And Roman says, you should listen to this. When Jay won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, he became more like me and less like you. If you really want to help your brother, sometimes you need to get out of his way. You bastard.
Yeah. Jimmy's got the least complicated relationship of all of these this main event mix. In that he fundamentally just backs his brother.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of that you can have. They've got like the warred in the past and whatever, and there's all these overlapping little stories with Roman and Punk and LA Knight and LA Knight and Jay. So, but like the simplest line is the one between Jimmy and Jay. He will support Jay. Jay can make several mistakes. And
Jimmy's kind of vindicated about what he did all that time back at SummerSlam, right?
Yeah, they are doing.
I'm clearly made the right call not letting you become world champion.
Right. In all seriousness, that was the gaping plot hole of an otherwise pretty epic saga. And they are, by accident or design, doing a really good job of tightening it up. Like, they're sort of like, oh, yeah, sorry about that, Jimmy. Yeah, you were on the money there, mate. Like, you tried to kind of curb Yeet Mania before it got a little bit out of control and everybody went mad. He's
going to chuck Jay out of the Rumble, just in case.
I don't know. You remember 2024, though? Like, when he would like, yeah, let's get it.
This is the most I've stand for Jimmy since then. And I was like, there's still something there.
Well, let's be real. He was hard to stand for a while, wasn't he? Stop being rubbish, James.
I just love that Roman like became more like me and less like you.
As with fantasy books, the idea of him not getting picked because like this War Games babyface team is like an elite super team, all world champions, also, and like really, Jay is a bit of an odd one out. You know, it's like Roman Reigns and CM Punk and John Cena and Jey Uso. Like he's done really well. Like hair rough, world champion.
Yeah, if Punk's picking the 4, he ain't picking Jay, is he?
No.
If Cena, maybe Cena because he's a nice guy, but like the only way Jay gets in is because Roman's picking the 4.
Well,
probably.
Like Punk has told him, he said, "I wouldn't pick you as this little Roman guy. I'd pick the proper Jey."
I'll pick Roman and probably Jimmy.
I'm kind of into Jimmy actually.
So, following this, we get the 6-man tag. Well, before this, Styles like, I got something to say. And then like, Judgment Day come out. And he's like, but don't worry, we're still getting this at the end. It was AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, and Penta, as I mentioned, versus Judgment Day, tag champs Finn Balor and JD McDonough, and IC champ, double champ Dominic Mysterio, of course. Early on, Judgment Day get knocked out to the floor, dives, and all the good guys get to do the Penta strut.
AJ Styles having this patter here is pretty good, isn't it? He's a funny guy.
I've gone from young people like, oh man, he's going to retire soon. And I was like, yeah, a phenomenal career, you know, but now I'm like, oh no, I really like him now.
Not the dancing janitor.
Yeah. So when we come back, Madonna's in trouble. Dragon Lee leg whip was awesome. But he fights out of trouble, brings in Dom, who, like I say, a heel tag. Yeah! Here comes Dom. And Mysterio takes Dragon Lee down as we go to a break. When we come back, hot tag to Penta, who runs wild. I couldn't work out what happened here. Was he going for a Canadian Destroyer that got reversed? Because I think that's what it happened.
I think
McDonough
so.
hit a Spanish fly, right?
Yeah, it was like, the Canadian Destroyer. Oh, you got me. Yeah, but didn't look great.
It's just, they're both down.
They're both out. Yeah, that was it. They both had to sell. Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the best. I think they both took a knock there. It's like, well, yeah, because the move didn't make any sense. That's how that happened.
I mean, Spanish fly sucks for everyone. Styles and Dom come in, and he hits Dom with a spinning rack bomb, but JD breaks up the cover. Dragon Lee comes to take out JD. Penta takes out Balor with a flip dive. Dom goes for a 619, sets up for a 619 on Styles, and then we should have mentioned, we saw him earlier just rowing with Adam Pearce, who's had a horrible night. You just see Rusev's come in, and Dom's like, oh, bollocks, I cheated against him. Grabs his belts, bails, Rusev catches him. Penta goes to super kick Dom. Dom ducks, Penta super kicks Rusev. Just a quick point. Penta's fighting for the title next week on Raw. Come on. Dom bails through the crowd and Styles grabs McDonough. Styles clash, 1, 2, 3. And then this promo. Grabs a mic. Now I've got a second to talk, he says. This match at Crown Jewel between AJ Styles and John Cena. We don't need a story. It writes itself. You've got two men who will dance for the last time, and I promise you this. We'll leave it all in that ring, and it will kick ass. I was like, yeah!
It's going to kick ass.
I was like, is that your outline? Okay!
He was just sort of like America. Yeah, bless him, AJ Styles. He's a dafty, isn't he? This was fine. The work was your solid.
Good setting up what's coming.
Your solid wrestling and the overlapping stuff with Rusev. I quite like the Penta as well, involvement in the IC title. Something to consider here. Is it fair to say that this feels more important, or some of the wrestlers feel like they've kind of just like edged up a little bit since they've left the New Day and Grayson Waller over here? Like, you never want to be that. Remember when that was happening with like the Viking Raiders? It's now we've dealt with them down there, we can start meaning more. Is that fair? This is more over, isn't it?
Absolutely.
This is, like that New Day Big G stuff wasn't really connecting, and like the baby faces in particular were sort of stuck with them, and it was like, this is pretty boring. As soon as like they've gone with the Judgment Day, everything's felt a bit hotter.
Everything's better with the Judgment Day.
I mean, we know this. Like, we're years into it now. And it's Trigger's broom from Only Fools and Horses, isn't it? Like, there's going to come a point where it's the Sugar Babes. 0 original members. Yeah. We're just like, I'll tell you what, Sugar Babes still, I love them Round by the Sugar Babes. None of the 3 were in it. But, like, it's still a Sugar Babes song, so you can still play it live. That'll be the case with the Judgment Day one day. Or maybe just Finn. He just won't leave.
Who are these guys?
He's been sticking around years just to get the Xbox. Like that.
That's like, what a transfer. Like, he has been like, go away from here, come back and do some stuff in NXT. And then suddenly, he's the best. I had to have my head stapled together at WrestleMania, but
I'll take it from here, Reg. And he did.
So as I mentioned, thankfully we're not going to be previewing this with all the chaos of next week. The plan right now is a Crown Jewel review on Monday morning, and then Monday afternoon, 1 p.m, thanks WWE for just confirming it, we will do a live reaction stream to Monday Night Raw, which will also feature Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne, Perez and Raquel Rodriguez.
No fear of Becky turning up because she's not going to Perth.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And yeah, Dom and Penta with Rusev's inevitable interference and another Dominic Mysterio title defense.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I think you'll win.
Before the main event, Punk and Knight agree that neither of them want to team together, but Knight has one simple request. Please don't get pinned.
Yeah, fair. Or do if you like.
Do.
You do you.
It wouldn't be ideal for me if you get pinned. And LA Knight makes his entrance, but Punk, spiteful bastard, play the music. He's just doing his play the music. Psh, psh. Out he comes. Long story short, we've gone long here. LA Knight and CM Punk don't get along. The tags are very akin to when two future pay-per-view opponents against each other are forced to be a tag team. I'll tag you, don't worry, I'll tag. Chop across it. That's a legal tag. But Jay, as a result of this lack of cohesion, sends LA Knight into the steps as the Usos take control during the early part of the match and into the break. Punk, though, comes in after LA Knight's been isolated as we're back from the break, gets the hot tag, hits Jimmy with a flying elbow, yeet, drop, goes for a GTS. Jimmy slips out of it, brings in Jay, who hits an Uso splash. LA Knight, though, is in there to break up the cover for his tag team partner. Blunt Force Trauma to Jimmy, but then Jay super kicks Knight. Jay then spears CM Punk, goes up top, but decides better of it to take LA Knight off the apron. And when he gets back in, Punk has just about recovered from the spear to hit a sort of desperation GTS. But in doing so, he staggers back into his corner. And as he's about to go and pin him, LA Knight, I'll take it from here, thanks very much, tags in, pins Jay, effectively puts himself in number one contender's position by winning the match for his team. And Punk's just like, you dirty rat.
Mm-hmm. And he had the shot to an extent because he's, as he was saying, he's got what Punk hasn't, which is this victory over Seth Rollins and whatever, which is nice storytelling off the back of LA Knight being the guy in the ring when they did the fake injury bobbins. Like, that was always something you kind of sense they would go back to with LA Knight. I liked Usos here as the...
Good tag team again.
Yeah, well, yeah. They've remembered who they are. Not heels, but being able to do their stuff, but as like heel cut-off spots, because LA Knight and Punk were the babyface.
Yes.
It fitted more than watching them be the like gallant babyfaces against the two Bronnies, weirdly. Maybe that's just because they're the force of Jey Uso's personality at the moment and his kind of, I'm losing it a bit. And just the work suited them being villains, but their stuff was cut off. Worked for me way more than any stuff I've seen him do.
Yeah, I can imagine going forward, more sort of sending people into the steps to take us to a break and cutting to Jimmy going like,
do we need to do that?
Bit much that really, mate?
Yeah, exactly. Like the Jey Uso being the one, like the All Business series, and he's got him pinned. So like Jimmy's just trying to do his best. It's like, well, I didn't lose. Roman, are you watching? Like angles more interesting than the match here, but the work was fine.
Yeah, and told the right story, and I really liked the finish. I thought it was so clever. Just, bloody hell. Oh, right, I'm going. Oh, you.
I think there's a Saturday Night's main event before the Survivor Series.
Ooh.
Which means Seth probably needs a singles opponent if we're doing the...
I was going to say it was going to be if we're not... Because he's doing... I know it's him and Cody obviously fighting each other, but like if he's not defending the title until the Saturday Night's main event before Christmas, that's John Cena's retirement, or... Well, it'd be like 4 months.
We buried the lead here a little bit. Sorry, I know we have gone long. Basically, Punk's telling you the last Netflix of the year is going to be a world title match.
Yes.
Like that felt like that was their way of saying, put the line there because we're going to do this.
And then if he doesn't win it there, I suppose he's going to have to
look
for a different world champion, maybe.
There's probably no way to get a belt after that, is there? January time. Are we going to get near a title in January time? I can't think of a way.
Anyway, let us know your thoughts on Raw in the comments section below and on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at...
Michael Hamflett if you want to. Don't worry if you don't.
You can follow our producer Adam Nicholas at...
It's Adam Nicholas.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. Both the AEW Dynamite and NXT previews available right now. But for now, this has been the Raw review. My thanks to Hamflett. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.